Do you think people will live in outer space in your lifetime?
Probably not. Because, I mean, probably not. I think it's a probably not kind of thing. Because, like, it's going to take a lot of years to just, like, prepare everything. And then, yeah, it's going to take a lot of years. So I don't think it's going to happen in my life.
Hello, Nishka.
Hello.
I see you're driving around town again.
Yes.
How are you going to do a test and drive a car at the same time?
I don't know. Multitask.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Any peacocks around?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So what did you do today? Where are you coming from?
Coming from my badminton classes, as usual.
So you were playing badminton.
Yes.
Are you on your summer holidays now?
No, they ended like a month ago, I guess.
Not for another month.
No, they ended a month ago.
Oh, your summer holidays ended a month ago.
Yeah.
Is that normal or is that because of COVID?
That's normal.
Okay, so what months do you have off for summer break?
It's like it's around June. It's around June.
So you only get 1 month off?
Yeah, I mean some schools have it for like 1 month and 15 days, whereas my school has it only for 1 month.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because in Canada we usually have like 2 months off. July and August, go back to school in September. And same in Vietnam is the same too. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started then. Interest 30 speaking test. We'll go to part 1, social interaction. Part 1, social interaction. Topic 1, traveling with friends. Do you think traveling with friends is a good idea?
Yes. Because because I think if you're traveling with friends, there are not as much boundaries as there would be with a teacher or a parent. You're free to do most of the things, and since you're with someone around your age, it's more adventurous with them.
Okay. So more of the life experiences and the adventures you'd have with your friends.
Yeah.
Question 2. What are some safety measures you should take before leaving?
Okay, so I believe like if you have a house of your own, always make sure that you always close all of the doors or you lock all of the doors, and you make sure that no one can get in. That's one of the safety measures. And then you also want to like at least have somebody know where you're going, know your locations, just in case if something happens, they know where you are.
So you plan on renting a house when you go traveling with your friends?
No, like, cause like I'll go traveling with my friends when I'm older. So if like I have a house of my own, then I'm going to make sure that all of the doors are locked.
Oh, you mean safety for your home while you're gone
Yes.
on? I mean when you're on your trip. What safety measures can you take to prepare?
Then I'll lock the doors of the hotel room because I don't want anyone stealing my stuff.
What about money?
Money, I'll put it in a safe because like I don't know about other countries, but over here in India, most of the hotels that we go in always have like a safe, so you can just like put your things in there.
Most hotel rooms have safes in them. Yeah, that's true. Some emergency numbers perhaps for your parents or yourself. Yeah. How would you plan the trip with your friends? You might all want to do something different.
Okay, so for if like all of us want to do something different, for example, I'm a person that really likes like adventurous things. I'm a person who like would go skydiving if I could. So I would like plan every like I would plan one day for each person. Like for example, if I'm out with five friends, I would plan the trip for 5 days. So the first day we would do something that my first friend wants, then the second one and the third one, and then maybe I'll give myself a day which I'll just tell everyone what to do. So that's how I plan it.
Just tell everybody what to do.
Yes, just tell
My way.
everybody what to do. In my way.
My way or no way.
Yes.
That solves a few problems. Or
Yeah.
creates a few. All right, let's move on to another topic. Topic 2, online dating. Now, as I said before, I know you guys are still too young to be dating, but we did have a couple of lessons on other people's experiences dating online, good ones and bad ones. So I want to know, what do you think about it? Do you think online dating is good?
To some measures, yes. I mean, you don't want to get too addicted to it that you're just like spending all of your time online dating. You want to actually go out in the real world and find someone who you can actually see, because in like online dating you don't know if the person is real. They could be fake, who knows. So there you of course have to take some safety measures. You have to always like have that in the back of your head that this person could be fake. Or otherwise, if you're like not spending too much time or not addicted, then it's okay, you can enjoy that time.
So I'm still confused. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It can be a good thing. All
Yeah,
right.
it can be a good thing.
Okay, so let's focus on what are its benefits. What could come from online dating? How could it work out well for you
Yeah.
or
So
someone?
as we have read in the in some of our chapters, there were some times that it went good. You maybe talked for a few days online for a few months, and then after those few months you actually met in person, and then you actually felt a bond, and you could find someone. um, you could also make friends. If like dating does not work for you, you could make friends. So that's a good thing about online dating, because like if you're not going to have a significant other, you're at least going to have a friend.
Okay. And big thing is you can get to know each other before meeting. Yeah. That's definitely an advantage. It's kind of awkward sometimes. I remember when I was a young man, I think online dating had started, but society really looked down on it and thought, oh my God, you have to go online to find a girlfriend. What's wrong with you? So it wasn't very popular when I was in my 20s. But now it's very popular. Of course, I have some friends that are married with children and they met each other online. But my point was that it's always difficult if you like someone and you meet someone and then you ask them, you don't know everything about them, because that's a kind of different. Back then, you had to ask them out to dinner or coffee first to get to know them.
Yeah.
Where now you can have the safety net of talking online, getting to know each other first before getting together for the first time.
That's actually one of the advantages. You get to know about a lot about the person before actually meeting them. So it's like there are less chances of conflicts.
Exactly. You can see how much you have in common and everything. I would think that's got to be the biggest benefit of all.
Yeah.
Vice versa, right? You realize that you have so much, not so much in common, that you're like, no, maybe we should just keep looking for someone else.
Yeah.
So how could this turn out to be bad? What are its disadvantages?
You could get catfished.
Catfished?
You could get, yeah, that's really bad.
What's a catfish?
It's basically when someone like pretends to be someone they're not.
Okay.
Like they'll just upload pictures from Google and stuff, which in real life there's just like some other person, and then you go meet them, and then they could actually be a bad person and kidnap you.
And kidnap you. Well,
They-
that would be very bad.
that would be really bad. Or if they would kidnap you, you would just be shocked. That's not the person I expected.
Probably a good idea to meet the first time in a very public place,
Yeah.
like the middle of a food court.
And not at night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are definitely automatic safety tips for meeting someone that you've never met
Yeah.
before, for sure. But I always think if you put different pictures up, you wouldn't recognize them anyway.
But like, here's the thing: people like go on to other people's Instagram account or like Facebook account, and over there, because like that person is an actual person. Like for example, if I'm supposed I'm catfishing someone, and if I'm basically like uploading your picture, so I'll go onto your Instagram or Facebook account, and then they're like pictures of you, and you have same pictures because you're uploading your picture. So I'll just upload those onto the site, and then they'll think that I'm you, and then they'll go meet me, and then yeah, you know what happens next.
Also, you steal other people's pictures.
Yes, that's my guess. I've never did it. I've never done it.
But you live in a house of hackers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did that a lot of time. Hacked lots of people's accounts.
My Indian hacker connection. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, there's that extreme. I wasn't quite thinking kidnapping, but that would be very bad. I was thinking more along the lines of putting pictures on your profile that you're 10 or 15 years younger than you really are, or lying about your age, of course, and scamming, things like that. But it's good. It's good. I think we got that settled. Okay, let's move on to part 2. All right. Part 2, solution discussion. You're going to be a manager now, and you're going to have to make a big decision. You are the owner of a professional football club, and one of your young players has become a superstar. This player still has 2 years left on his contract worth $20 million. But he wants a new $100 million contract. He's a superstar now. He wants more money. You have 3 choices to decide from, or 3 choices are suggested for you. I will give you a minute to go through these, but here are your choices. Now, you could have your own idea. You could pick something completely different if you want. Maybe you just sell the team. Heck with this. Too many headaches.
Could do that.
Could do that. Or maybe you want to keep the team. You would pay the well-deserved $100 million contract. Keep everybody happy and hope for the best. Or you would refuse to pay this amount and demand he plays out the current contract. A deal is a deal. We'll negotiate when you finish your contract, kiddo. Or he's giving you all kinds of troubles and you say enough is enough. You would trade the difficult player to another team for new young prospects.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. You have 1 minute starting now to make your decision, young manager. All right, your time is up, Missy. What has the young manager decided to do?
Okay, so we had a contract. You said that 20 million for I don't know how many years, but you still have 2 years left. So you'll have to pay. Sorry, you have to pay those 2 more years, and
Pay or
then
play? Play.
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 You'll have to play that 2 more years, and then if you still play good, then I'll give you $100 million. Then we'll have $100 million contract, but not right now. Mm-mm. I am not giving you $100 million.
Stingy. Unbelievable. So why not the other two?
Okay, so I don't trust this player enough that I'm just going to give him $100 million contract, and then he's just going to like take that 100 million and then leave.
Or not play well.
And not play well. All my 100 million dollars are going to go, and he's not even going to play well. So the first option was like a straight away no to me. The third one,
trade him for younger players.
I did not want to do that because he might be a good player. I'm like, because like if I give him like $100 contract after he finishes his 2 years, then he's going to play really good in those 2 years, because he knows that once he finishes them, then he's going to get $100 million. And so the second option was really good, but the third one I didn't pick that one because
about trading him.
I'm not going to do all of that trading again, because like then I'll have to do extra work, assign years for those players again, and then talk to them and interview them. I'm not going to do those things again just to trade someone who wants some more money. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, because if you trade him too, then he might hate you, and you're probably going to have to play against him.
Yeah, don't want that.
And you might lose some fans.
And he's a superstar, so he could like basically kind of like blackmail people, or like basically just tell almost the whole world that my club is not good if like I trade him. So we definitely don't want that.
Situations like that have certainly happened in real life, but I know in North American sports, usually in the contract, there's a clause that if you, let's say you want that extra contract, that new contract, but the owners say, no, you already have a contract, finish the contract, and then we'll renegotiate. And the player says, well, I won't play then. The owner doesn't have to pay the player. So it means he's going to sit at home for a year or two, not get paid, may even have to pay some money back, some of the bonus money they usually get at the beginning of their contracts. And for a professional athlete who is a star, sitting a season or two out is not good for their career.
So it's a win-win situation for me.
It usually is for the owners. Usually is. The players get their opportunity when they're negotiating their contract, and that's the big thing for them. So be careful what they negotiate for. Yeah. All right, good job. Let's go to part 3. All right. An interesting one, to say the least. Part 2, solution discussion. We're going to talk about the topic's going to be the solution discussion. What am I doing? This is speaking topic. Trevor. What a terrible examiner. Part 3, speaking topic. Discuss the topic. Many people have put forward the ideas and thoughts about the first space colony. Some national space agent programs see space colonization as a long-term goal, something that we're going to do regardless. It's just a matter of time. There are 3 ideas, but you tell me which one you think would be the smartest choice first. Follow Elon Musk and have a Mars colony. Follow NASA and make a moon base. Or follow some other scientists and build a spaceship, starship, and you can travel to different planets. Keep in mind, you could use ideas like scientific observation, experiments, figuring out gravity seems to be a big issue as well, farming, mining, security issues, or your own specific ideas. I will give you a minute to make some notes on your new colony. And we start now. Your time is up. All right, little astronaut. What do you think the smartest choice is? And why?
Okay. The smartest choice would actually be building a Mars colony, because if something happens to Earth, like in a few years, few million years, few billion years, we'll at least have a backup planet that we can go to. And like we could just like get everything ready in Mars just in case, again, if something happens to Earth, we can just leave. And then we can build the moon base so that we can do some experiments, and then the starship.
So if you already went to Mars, why would you come back to the moon?
Because to do some experiments, because the outer space is very different than Earth. So we could just do some experiments on the moon, and then we could implement, if like we found something really unique, something great that could just like change humanity, then we could implement that in our Mars colony.
What if you forget your hand phone?
Then you'll most probably die.
In no stores on Mars. You know that it takes like 7 or 8 months. First of all,
I know.
Once the planet, well, you know astronomy.
Yes.
Yeah. Astrology or astronomy? Astrology.
No, I think it's.
Well, one is about the signs, Taurus, and
I think it's astronomy. Astrology is like
the signs.
The signs.
Yeah, the stars are signs, and astronomy is the study.
I'm a Capricorn.
I'm a cusp. Do you know what that is?
Cusp?
Mm-hmm.
What's a cusp?
A cusp is someone who is born right in the middle of two.
Oh my god.
That different meaning in India?
No, I don't know.
Because you're laughing so much, I'm guessing there's another meaning for a cusp. I'm April 20th, so I'm right between Taurus and Aries.
Oh yeah.
Okay, back to the topic here. Yeah, and then the planets don't align for like something like 2 years, every 2 years or something. Because a day, I can't remember how long. I should have made some notes here to make it interesting. I'll add.
Even I forgot. I have read about this and I forgot.
Yeah, because as they rotate or orbit around, there's one time where the two kind of align, and that's when you have to jump off of Earth and catch up.
I think
Mars.
it's once a year. I'm not sure.
2 years for sure before they align again. Because in a year from now, you'll be both opposite sides of the sun. And it would take years to travel to catch it or to intercept it. So I'm pretty sure, and I will put the notes. I'll make sure I put the notes so that the actual scientific evidence is in our videos. But if I remember correctly, if you leave, you get on that ship, there's no coming back for more than 3 years before you could ever come back to Earth.
That is true.
It's a few months just to hop over to Mars, and then it's a 2-year rotation before the planets are aligned again, and a few more months again, like 7 or 9 months travel back to Earth.
Yes, but you are actually getting a lot out of those years that you're spending, and it's not going to be only 3 years, because you'll also have to do a lot of things over there. It's going to take another like year or something, 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
So
I don't think many people will be coming back.
Yeah. So, but like, I guess the best thing we could do is prepare really well for 5 years and just like have everything planned out and make sure that everything goes smoothly. Everyone who goes there comes back. And then maybe we can start the Starship and the moon base later on.
If I remember correctly, there was a YouTube video about what Elon Musk's plan was, and it was something like 100 ships and like 10,000 people on each ship, and like to be able to bring enough people and all the supplies and all the building materials and everything they're going to need because there's no coming back for such a long time. Like they're not just going one spaceship and that's it. It's like a fleet. Like like 100,000 people or something. There's hundred
Yeah,
thousand
but
or
I
10,000. I think
feel
10,000
like
maybe.
I feel like everything like should be properly planned out for those 10,000 people to make sure like they come back, nothing happens to them, because their safety is the most important. Because like if we are going to just build a Mars colony just to lose 10,000 people, then what's the what like what is even the use of it? Why are we even doing it? It's better that we just stay at Earth then.
Well, a lot of people died when they colonized North America. Maybe there'll be aliens. They'll have a war. They better bring some laser guns. All right. Yeah, mining. But yeah, I hope it happens. I really want to see it happen. It'd be really amazing, historical. See, I wouldn't have, I would not have chosen Mars as the first step to colonizing space. I would have picked the moon first because you could build a base there so much easier and do your tests and be so much more prepared um, for another 10, 20, 30 years, whatever, however long it takes, and then go to Mars. I think you'd be able to rescue people a lot easier. You could ship materials to the moon so much easier than Mars. I think you have more chance of success on moon than you do on the Mars. But
Yeah, that is quite true.
yeah. And then I think I would have done the Starship too before going to Mars, and then just gone to Mars in the Starship so that they always had the choice of coming home if something happened. But who knows? And like I say, I hope I get to see it. Do you think people will live in outer space in your lifetime?
Probably not. Because I mean, probably not. I think it's a probably not kind of thing. Because like it's going to take a lot of years to just like prepare everything, and then yeah, it's going to take a lot of years. So I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime.
Okay. Well, Elon Musk is supposedly they're planning to take the first trip to Mars like in 2025 or something, like in a year or two, few years.
Yes, but unfortunately, most of the things that people say that they'll do it before this time, even like us normal people do it. We say that like we'll do it today, we'll do it tomorrow, but we never do it on time. It's like always delayed
So
a
you
day
think
or
they'll
two.
talk and talk, but it won't actually happen for
Yeah,
many more decades.
I'm not sure, like not decades, but like a few years. So like not until I'm like in my 50s or
How old do you
60s.
plan on living?
I don't know. I don't know.
You plan on being here for a couple more decades, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe, yes, you'll see some people in space in your lifetime.
Maybe.
You're probably going to be around for another 8 or 9 decades.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It is.
A lot has changed in the last 8 or 9 decades.
It has.
What do you think will be the biggest challenge for any of them going like the Starship or Mars or the moon base? What's going to be the number one problem?
I guess getting the materials for the Mars colony and the moon base, getting the materials from Earth to that area, because like it's going to be hard to because you have to travel back and forth. You cannot just take all the material at once. You'll need a really big um uh what do you call it? I forgot the word.
Spaceship,
Yeah, you'll
rocket.
need a really big spaceship for that, like a really big one, because it's going to take a lot of materials. So I guess that is the number one issue, the number one challenge for the Mars and the Moon.
Getting the materials to the base.
Yes, and for the Starship, I guess it's not going to be that hard. I guess the hardest thing would be building it.
But they
Because
probably have to build it in outer space.
yeah, so again, traveling the material will be really hard.
Well, maybe the Starship could be built on land. Maybe
Yes, because that's what I'm thinking. Like you could just build it,
flies. Yeah.
build it in on you could just build it on Earth and then fly it to the outer space, because that will be much easier than just taking all of the supplies onto the moon and then building it, and then because after that, once you build it, then it's going to be really easy. You just have to fly it around.
Just fly it around. Well, that's what Elon, if I remember correctly, I think it wasn't 100,000. I think the idea is like 100 ships, with each ship carrying materials and like 1,000 people on each ship. I think that's the first plan. And I'm definitely gonna check it out again and put the information in the video. But that's not what I would think would be the biggest. I don't think the rockets or the ships are going to be the problem. What else do you think would be a big problem? Why do you think we haven't gone back to the moon since the 70s? NASA didn't see much point in it for a simple reason. Instead, they chose to build space stations and do their testing there. What do you need to live? What are some of the essentials?
Water,
Exactly. Well, astronauts can live for months on a space station, so it seems to me that they've figured out the oxygen problem, how to recycle the air. I'm not sure how it works, but they seem to have fixed that problem, or at least have a good understanding. Gravity is still a problem because you're flying around and floating around in the ship. Apparently, you need to have some kind of revolving mechanism to balance out the gravity pull, which I know they're doing a lot of testing on, but they haven't quite figured that one out yet. But I would think that the number one problem is water. We can build the biodomes and sunlight and control the atmosphere inside the biodomes to grow food, but you can't grow food without water. And on Mars, they believe there's a frozen ocean underland,
Yeah.
but they're going to be in a lot of trouble if they get there and they dig and they find out that there is no frozen ocean. They're going to be in really big trouble. And it'd be pretty hard to bring 3 years supply for water for 10,000 people. I think you're going to need a lot more ships.
Yeah.
And on the moon, I just heard recently, I think it's on the dark side of the moon or the poles or somewhere, where NASA believes that several craters have frozen water in them. And if that's true, then they might have a water source. But apparently that's why we haven't built a station or a base on the moon, was because of just be not feasible. You'd have to ship water from Earth all the time. So it was easier to build a space station. That's my understanding. I find it all fascinating and interesting, and I love reading about it and hearing about it, but I don't know all the details, of course. All right, Nishka, that's it. Time to eat.
Finally.
Time to eat. All right, so we'll see you next week in Interest 31.
Yay!
Nanu.